Hello, I'm Mike Feltenberger, and we're going to do a recap of the June 4th racing action from the Wingless Wednesday event at Shellhammer Dirt Track, the little track by the river, getting their first Wednesday racing action in since May the 7th. They had 10 qualifying events for the 7 classes. 7 of the 10 events went nonstop. Some spirited racing on the high banks resulted in 7 of the 10 qualifying events going nonstop. First up, the junior sprints. Taking the win for his third win of the season in the 1, Enzo Udicello. Enzo having a strong run. Jay Smith getting the second spot in the 27. Chase had a lap 18 pass on second place running Andrew Ferriola at the time, and he claimed that second spot at the finish, just slightly ahead of Ferriola, who did get third in the 26, with Carter Green in the 5 soldiering on for fourth, and your fifth place finisher, Braylon Morris. So your top 5 was Udicello, Jay Smith, Andrew Ferriola, Carter Green, and Braylon Morris, the 20 laps for the junior sprints at Shellhammers. 270 micros were up next. Strong field of 270 signed in, getting the win in the 45, Matt McAnally. Matt started on the pole. It was never to be headed. That 45 was on rails no matter what part of the racetrack he decided to run on. High side, middle, low, top side. There was nothing slowing down Matt McAnally getting the win. Chris Dolan getting the 16X across the finish line second. Chris had a lap 18 pass on Dustin Roberts, who was running second at the time, but he kept his pace going for a second place finish for Chris Dolan in the 16X. Dustin Roberts in the 11 was third. Chase Siggenfuth's strong run for Chase, getting the 52Z under the checker for fourth. And your fifth place finisher was Matt Bangs. Matt really come on strong the last couple of races. Again, soldiering on to get that fifth place finish in the 20-lap 270 micro sprint event. Stage 1 modifieds, front row of Jake Moyer and Dylan Hoke stayed that way in the turn number 3 of the first lap. Finding some racing room on the high side was Dylan Hoke, grabbing the lead and taking the win, his first win of the season in the Stage 1 modifieds. Getting second, Brett Smith. Brett was involved in a couple incidents earlier in the event, none of his making, but Brett getting a second place run in the 25. Jake Moyer staying strong from his early race battle with Dylan Hoke, getting third in the 1M, with Tyler Hoke in the 50 getting fourth, just ahead of early race runner. He was also involved in an earlier incident. Johnny Fugello in the 5-team. Johnny was a early season win in the Stage 1 modified. So we had Dylan Hoke, Brett Smith, Jake Moyer, Tyler Hoke, and Johnny Fugello as the top 5 in the Stage 1 modifieds. 600 micros. Damian Bauer grabbed the early race lead in the 7.5. Yes, that's his car number, the 7.5. But he left the low side open heading into turn 1 on lap number 7, and taking the opportunity of the advantage given by Bauer was Richie Hartman. Richie got the 39 under the 7.5, and coming out of turn 2, Richie Hartman was your race leader and ended up being the race victor. So second win of the season for Hartman in the 39. Trevor Kobolars coming on strong late in the race. Had enough to get to Hartman, but not enough to get by. Kobolars in the 5, slotting in for the second spot. Another strong run for Matt McAnally in the 37. You can always count on Matt to be a top 5 runner. And again, proving he has a strong determination to get a top run was the 37, Matt McAnally. Jay Smith getting a fourth in the 27, just ahead of Geezer Finelli. Geezer was actually your 6th place runner, but on lap 10, he decided to make some dicing and got underneath some few cars to get the 5th spot. Geezer held on for 5th from the remaining 10 laps in the G car. So the top 5 was Richie Hartman, Trevor Kobolars, Matt McAnally, Jay Smith, and Geezer Finelli for your 600 micros. And they only had 2 yellow flags, so another strong showing for the 600 micros at Shellhammers. 5th up was the junior slingshots. And your leader for 19 3/4 laps was Haley Bernatowski. Aubrey Romig was on a charge. She saw an opening coming off of turn 4, got by Bernatowski right at the checker, winning by 6/100ths. 6/100ths of a second. Romig getting the win in the 35A. Bernatowski, who was second at the finish, was put back to the back of the field for a post-race rule infraction, moving Frank Fritzinger up into the second spot in the 51. Getting third, the 55B, Barry Seaman. Strong run for Barry. Braden Bednar in the 9W getting fourth. And rounding out your top 5 was the 5S of Cheyenne Snotterly. So yes, a strong run by Aubrey Romig. 6/100ths of a second was her win distance. They went nonstop as well. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Sixth class on the Speedway, the 125 micros. Seth Gregory started on the pole, and he was flying. It didn't matter where the 14 was going to go. Low, middle, top, the 14 was on rails. Nobody was going to take the win away from Seth Gregory. Dylan Yates, strong run at a 112 for second. Getting third, Easton Miller in the 17E. Easton had trouble all nights with his 600 micro, but had a strong showing in the 125 class for third. Corey Harding in the 3H was fourth, and Mitch Gibson celebrating his 18th birthday. Happy birthday, Mitch, getting fifth in the 15. That race also went nonstop. 3 minutes and 19 seconds for the 125 micros. Final class on the Speedway was the All-Star Slingshots. 21 slingshots signed in for the racing action. And a early race tussle between Dylan Hoke and Colton Williams resulted in Hoke grabbing the lead, and he took the 25-lap main event for the All-Star Slingshots over his brother Tyler. Darian Danila was a challenger for Tyler for that second spot for pretty much of the race in the 72D, but had to settle for third at the finish. Lindsey Garl in the 17L was fourth, and getting fifth was a former feature winner and the 2024 Junior Slingshot champion, Haley Ero, in the 57. Have to say happy birthday to her mom, Heather. Happy birthday to Heather Ero. But Haley got by Dane Lane for fifth on lap 23 of the lap 25 event. And strong run, another strong run for Haley Ero in the 57. Got to give a shout out to Lucas Pittenger. Lucas finished seventh, I should say, from his 21st starting spot. They had 4 yellows, all minor and earlier in the event. Once we got to the halfway sign, racing was sort of nonstop. But again, a good strong showing by Lucas Pittenger, coming from the 21st starting spot to get 7th at the checker. Again, top 5 for the All-Star Slingshots. Dylan Hoke was your winner. Tyler Hoke second. Darian Daniluk third. Lindsey Garl fourth, and getting fifth, Haley Ero. We were through the checker at 10:02, and all the payouts for none, and everybody was home by 10:30. Fantastic night of racing at the little track by the river, Shellhammer Dirt Track. The Wingless Wednesday will be back in action again June the 11th. So I'm Mike Feltberger. Please have a safe week and see everybody back at the Speedway on June the 11th. Please take care.